You merely inherited the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. And even then, it was nothing to me but clear.
You got knocked the fuck out, man! Give me my goddamn money!
Was that not just the best paid impersonation you've ever heard in your entire life? I had the Pringles can there and ready, you had to do it. It's there, there it is, all over, game, set, match, there it is. Today I'm going to tell you something personal about myself, and nobody knows this, not even my best friends, my parents. I feel like it's the right time to come out and say it. And I feel quite ashamed of saying this. I'm god-awful with the AC-130 gunship. You could put Stevie Wonder in the gunner seat of this multi-million-dollar flying brick shithouse, and he would have a better chance of hitting something on the ground than I would. This thing is just designed to eviscerate anything that's below it. Just take a look and see for yourself.
I now show objective Bravo is neutralized.
So today's topic is planned obsolescence, and for those who don't know what planned obsolescence is, to put it in perspective, let's say there's a game company and they make a game, but they implement certain handicaps, possibly unintentional handicaps, but at times they could be predetermined handicaps, which over time will render their products inferior, even obsolete at times, to whatever they plan to release next. This is all part of their marketing scheme. They release one product which at the time seems fairly good, but over time people start noticing little bugs, little things, little hitches, and the next time they come around to release the sequel for that product, one of their main selling points is usually the fix of these problems that you buy in the first product. So I'm going to talk about Battlefield Hardline, not necessarily about these bugs and glitches that have been appearing in the game, but about progression and, you know, content in the game itself, how much there is and how much there is to do in the game. So let's talk about level progression. This is what usually keeps people going through the lifespan of a first-person shooter game. Battlefield historically is known to have a really grindy XP level progression. I mean, usually on Battlefield 3 it took I think it took me like 27 days to reach Kernel 100, and then it took on average like 35 days worth of playing for most people to reach level 100. That's been decreasing with each Battlefield launch, and with Hardline people reach level 150 by the end of the beta. The level progression is what keeps bringing players back to the game itself years after it's been launched. So maybe the intention here is to not keep the players around on Hardline for as long as possible. It's to keep them entertained until something comes out, because they're going to reach the max level within a few weeks of playing the game. I mean, 150 hours is not a whole lot to play on a first-person shooter. Maybe this for some people, but for everyone else, it's really not. It's not a whole lot of time. So is there some sort of intention to having such a quick level progression? And I think there is. And it may be planned obsolescence, because what EA game is coming out soon? Battlefront. I consider it to be a Battlefield game, to be honest. I know it's a Star Wars title, but in fairness, it's being made by DICE. It's using the Frostbite engine. So it's going to be a Star Wars themed Battlefield fish monster thing extravaganza. So how do you maximize profits on a game that you're planning on releasing later that year when you've already released the game earlier on? Instead of having two fan bases, one on Battlefield Hardline and one on Battlefront, you can migrate the Battlefield Hardline fans to the Battlefront fans. So what I'm saying is, when you max up your level in Battlefield Hardline, you're going to migrate to Battlefront. Well, that's what they're hoping, so that they don't have to compete with their own fan base, and at the same time they're maximizing their profits. So that could be the reason why Battlefield Hardline launched with possibly the least amount of content in any Battlefield game. Maybe not for Battlefield 3. And I know the excuse has come around that Visceral aren't used with the Frostbite engine, and that may be true, but you know, there's such a lack of content in the game. There's almost no destruction. The Levolution, I think, is on like a few maps, and it's not very expansive at all. There's not a lot in the game, so you're going to have to get sick of the game fairly soon to move on to Battlefront. And to EA, this plan is an absolute goldmine of money. They've got their Battlefield AAA release in 1 year. They've got their Call of Duty styled Battlefield releasing in the next year. And then after that, they've got their Star Wars themed Battlefield game coming out the next year. So that's all Battlefield Hardline is. It's a filler. just so people can forget about Battlefield 4 and restore consumer confidence for Battlefront. That's what I think it is, to be honest. There's nothing else going on. So it looks like to me the Battlefield Hardline was premeditated to have such a small amount of content. And you know what I say to that? I say fuck that shit. Don't even bother with Battlefield Hardline. Don't bother with the second Battlefield that comes out, okay? Because all it is a filler until the next one. And I can guarantee you that the level progression for Battlefield from now on is going to be shorter than it's ever been before. And it's going to keep happening unless we say something about it. And I'm going to give credit to DICE here. I know Battlefield 4 launch is a really rocky mess, and I know that they didn't want to release it like that. Everyone kind of knows EA pushed it out the door to get it out in time for the new consoles and stuff like that. But I'd like to give them credit for sticking with it, you know, by implementing stuff like the CTE, the community-made maps that they're asking for our feedback on, and the possible free DLC that could be coming out within the next month or so. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching the video. Like, favorite, or subscribe. Just let me know if you have any feedback in the comments. If you agree or disagree with anything. Oh yeah, look at this. This guy, this is so cute. This is the cutest thing that's happened to me in Battlefield. I've just been spamming get out, because he got out of my chopper and he actually bails. I pushed him over the edge. Nearly sends me to my death. I've one thing to say. Worth. So worth it. Totally worth it.